Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We did our fan-led mock draft, the famous or sometimes infamous one if you don't get the pick that you want, on our Monday live show. We're about to break that down in depth, the picks, the players, and some of the chaos that went on. But if you want to be a part of future fan-led mock drafts, you just want daily Cowboys videos, especially with the 2023 NFL Draft roughly 3 weeks away, come to the right spot. Hit that sub button for free right now. The pick was Bijan Robinson in round one. The constant debate of whether or not a running back is worth the first round pick for the Cowboys was answered in the fan-led mock. He beat out players, most notably Steve Avila. Michael Mayer was also there in the first round. Pure talent-wise, ignoring the very real and valid concerns over positional value, Robinson, for most people, almost the consensus, is a top 10 player in this year's class, if not a top 5 player. But he's also a running back. Their shelf lives are very short, and you want your first-round pick to be around longer than just 4 or 5 years. If you're going to give him 4 years and then move on, it's not a great first-round pick. Runner-up was actually not Michael Mayer in the fan-led mock. It was actually Steve Avila, the guard from TCU. In the end, Bijan Robinson was a rather controversial pick. He's a pretty easy evaluation. He's a great running back. Everyone with eyes can see that. It's the valuation that is the tricky part there. What is the value of a back in round one? I have zero desire to move up and give up assets to go get Bijan, but if you want to stand pat and take him there in the first round at pick 26th, I don't mind that one nearly as much. So the voters in the live poll and the Super Chats did take Bijan. What would you guys do? If he is there in round one, assuming it's between like Bijan, Steve Avila, tight end, probably a second round grade on the defensive side of the football, would you take Bijan Robinson? It's the pinned comments on today's show. Type in Y for yes, N for no, especially if the ad break comes here on YouTube. Round two, they're getting an interior offensive lineman, John Michael Schmitz out of Minnesota. Now, he played center in college. The Cowboys had spoken to him about moving inside the guard. He talked about moving to guard when I asked him about the Cowboys at the Combine, so I'm going to connect the dots there and go, he had conversations about playing guard in the NFL, specifically with the Cowboys. Could try him at guard, and then maybe he's your Tyler Biadasz person. If you want to pay him $10+ million when he hits free agency next year. The top guards, by the way, did not make it until the second round. Steve Avila, Osiris Torrance, even Cody Mauch was off the board. Joe Tippmann was gone, so Schmitz was the top interior offensive lineman left. I like his game. He's my number one center prospect. I will group centers and guards together come draft rankings time. If we're counting Peter Skronsky at tackle, he'll probably check in at third, maybe just behind Steve Avila on my list. The in theory move here is you're going to plug John Michael Schmitz at left guard. Tyler Smith then plays left tackle. Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele would then hang out over at right tackle. A year from now, you're moving John Michael Schmitz to center potentially, and we're doing the whole searching for a left guard thing once again in a year. But hey, you're taking care of short-term and long-term needs with JMS in round two. Wasn't that much of a debate of the available players. He kind of ran away with it in the end. If you're tired of struggling with bad habits, cold turkey might be great for sandwiches, but there's a better way to break free from those pesky habits, and it doesn't involve weird mind voodoo or other bizarre tactics. Introducing our sponsor, Fume, an innovative award-nominated device that helps you kick bad habits to the curb by focusing on the good parts. Scan the QR code currently on screen if you want to learn more, but Fume is all about embracing the natural. It's not electronic, and instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Best of all, it's free of harmful chemicals and packed with delicious, all-natural flavors. The adjustable airflow dial and movable parts and magnets make it perfect for fidgeting, which can help alleviate stress and anxiety while you break your habit. I wasn't sure what to expect, frankly, at first from Fume, but I was pleasantly surprised of the taste, feel, and look of Fume. Breaking a bad habit can be tough, but with Fume, it's easy, enjoyable, and even fun. With over 100,000 customers and countless success stories, there's no reason you can't be next. Start your journey towards a healthier lifestyle with the Journey Pack from Fume. Visit tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you purchase the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports. And don't forget to use code chatsports for 10% off your order, or just scan the QR code. The link, by the way, will also be in the comment section and the description of today's video, but you can also scan the QR code to unlock this offer today. It was offense heavy in this mock draft. Marvin Mims out of Oklahoma was the pick in the third round. I think he's among the more underrated wide receivers. He's not the biggest guy. The Cowboys showing some want to move away from the big guys. He's a bit undersized, but he's fast. He made some good contested catches. I think he is among the more underrated wide receivers this year. Fun production from Mims the past couple years. There were some drop issues, but a lot of the receivers here either drops or small or both in the end. I will make note it was a super chat battle that ended up getting Marvin Mims to Dallas over Tulane linebacker Dorian Williams. We had some fun allowing super chats to influence the ballot box because you can buy votes in America, and Marvin Mims upset Dorian Williams in the end. In the fourth round, a defensive player, Cory Trice, the cornerback out of Purdue. He is indeed a sleeper option. He has gone a bit under the radar so far with some of the buzz on him, although us in the media are now catching up to what the NFL has known for a while. He could easily be a top 100 pick. Cory Trice did pull off a comeback in the battle here. The early votes were more towards tight end Zack Kuntz, who was in the lead, and then the rest of the voters were like, we got to have a defensive player. We need defense, and they went with Trice over Zack Kuntz. And the Zack Kuntz voters, I will say, were in absolute shambles. There was a lot of people who wanted him, but it would have been 4 straight offensive picks. And they were down bad, at least for a little bit. But first, name a later round player, we'll say outside of the top 100, who you would love to see the Dallas Cowboys draft this year. Drop that player name for me in the comment section right now. Well, the Zack Kuntz people were quite happy that he fell to Dallas in the 5th round, pick number 169 overall. He's a gifted athlete. He is raw. Heard some buzz that maybe he's not the toughest player quite yet, but he had great production for Old Dominion in a different level of offense, but he was a Penn State recruit initially, and the athleticism certainly shows up on film. The Cowboys, this fan-led mock draft, got lucky with Zack Kuntz sliding. You will get lucky at some points. Players will slide. Is it likely that Mims and Trice and Kuntz all go where you got them? I would say probably not, but that's how the draft goes. Who among us foresaw CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs being the Cowboys' picks in round 1, round 2 just a few years ago? Weird stuff happens in the NFL drafts. Round 6, a fatty up front, Brodric Martin out of Western Kentucky. He is a run-stopping option. The production does not pop off the screen, but you're not asking him to be a double-digit sack player or even a double-digit TFL player. You want him to do what you were hoping John Ridgeway, what Quinton Bohanna were going to do before Ridgeway got cut, which was a mistake by Dallas, and before Bohanna, just hasn't appeared to be the guy we hoped he was going to be. Taking those day 3 picks on 2-down players, run stoppers, I have no complaints about that whatsoever. I will have a higher grade than where Dallas got him in the early part of the 200 selections. Round 7 was chaos, if those of you who tune in for the fan-led mock draft. The pick ended up being Jake Moody, a kicker, because people just love drafting kickers on the fan-led mock drafts because I think they just like to troll me sometimes, frankly. Jake Moody is generally viewed as the number 1 kicker this year. Better inside of 50, missed some long-range kicks. It's also a kicker, and you guys know my thoughts on kicker, but it's the 7th round. You can't have a bad kick. There was a pretty big feud between the kicker and the quarterback who was on the board. Max Duggan was the best available QB, one of the only QBs left on the PFF sim that we ran it on. So things got kind of weird. The kicker ended up beating out the quarterback because kicker in theory would help you more in the short term. So be honest with me. Which one would you rather draft? Let's say it is round 7. You're talking that late day 3 QB or the kicker. QB for quarterback, K for kicker. One more time on the fan-led mock draft, just the results here. Bijan Robinson, running back from Texas. John Michael Schmitz, interior O-lineman from Minnesota. Oklahoma wide receiver Marvin Mims in the 3rd. Purdue quarterback Cory Trice in the 4th. Zack, tight end from Old Dominion in the 5th round. Defensive tackle Brodric Martin out of Western Kentucky. And Michigan kicker Jake Moody. A linebacker, an edge, probably would have been nice, but you went offense heavy. You got some great players. I can't be that mad at it. But I do want you guys to grade the mock draft. You can be mean. It's not mine. It's up to you guys. So grade yourselves, I guess. And something tells me it won't just be an A like you used to do when you got a chance to grade yourself in school. A, B, C, D, or F in the comment section.